So, good morning. So, if you are not driving and you can see this picture, it says self-care, and then it has a picture of where I'm sitting right now in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, wherever it is. And I'm here visiting my friend, and I've been doing a lot of self-care. And I never used to do self-care. I guess if I were being really honest, you could say I was maybe more of a workaholic than anything. But as I've grown and learned about how to be more productive in my life and how to be more successful in my life, self-care is a really big part of that. And I know we did a Zoom a few weeks ago about, what to do on the weekend, what successful people do on the weekend. I've sort of extended my weekend just by happenstance, just kind of open to my girlfriend calling me up and just saying, hey, do you want to hang out for another couple of days? And I would have normally never done that, but I decided, you know what? I want to have a little self-care. I want to have a little reflection. I want to be able to be really strong and mighty and do things that, are impactful. So this couple of days has been really great. And I really have been feeling incredibly grateful that I had this opportunity, and it came out of nowhere. And I really encourage you that when these kinds of opportunities show up in your life, that you take advantage if you possibly can, if it makes sense in your life to do that. So I like this little graphic. It says, Piglet noticed that even though he had a very small heart, he could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. So I feel tremendous gratitude this morning to be here with you and to be here in this beautiful setting. And yesterday I was reading a great book, and I got some information about willpower. And a lot of times people talk about willpower when they're dieting, or they talk about willpower when they're trying to stay away from something. But the book was really interesting because the way they talked about willpower was this, and I'm going to kind of read it to you. It's just it's pretty easy. And for those of you that are driving, I'll read it to you. It says, every morning you start out with a full charge. As the day goes on, every time you draw on it, you're using it up. Willpower has a limited battery life, but it can be recharged with some downtime. It's a limited but renewable resource. When our willpower is low, we tend to fall back on our default settings. We lose the willpower not because we think about it, but because we don't. Without appreciating that it can come and go, we let it do exactly that. Without intentionally protecting it every day, we allow ourselves to go from a will and a way to a no will and a no way. If success is what we are after, this won't work. And I really, really like that, because no matter what you're using your willpower for, it is absolutely true. We start out strong every day to do the things that we think we need to do. And then for whatever reasons, things come into our life and it diminishes that power. It takes that power away from us. And sometimes that's the reason why we're not able to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. So my feeling was, okay, let's give willpower a chance. Let's give it the time of day. Let's put some emphasis on our willpower and stay strong and really attack, that part of our mind of really keeping that as strong as we can. And so I say go big. So thinking big is an essential to extraordinary results. Success requires action, and actions that become springboards to succeeding big are those informed by big thinking to begin with. So that sounds kind of like a lot of words, but when I was growing up, my mom, I did not know this, you guys, I had no idea, but my mom used to, she worked a lot. She was a very, I would say, a very bigger than life personality. And at times it really bothered me. But at times, as I got older, I really thought, wow, she was so forward thinking in the way she thought. And she used to wear these big giant sweatshirts. And one of the sweatshirts that she wore all the time was a giant sweatshirt that said, think big. And so her mindset every single day when she wore this sweatshirt was basically thinking big. And, it kind of resonated throughout her day. I think it kept her strong and focused, on what she wanted to achieve. And even though she, may not have ran the most, I don't know, what most people would think would be the right sort of lifestyle all the time, she thought big, and she did big, and she went big, and her results were big. And so it was her willpower. It was completely her willpower. It was her ability to, continue, even though there was distraction, even though there was discomfort, even though there was disappointment, even though there was not always getting to the goal exactly. She continued to move forward. And I think I always say, I think I got the best of my mom because, she really put that in me subliminally. So anyway, these are some of the things I took away from the book that I read. Think big, don't order from the menu, act bold, and don't fear failure. And I think we talked a little bit about not fearing failure yesterday, but these were some of the takeaways. Don't just choose from the available options. Choose other things. Look at other avenues. Don't just kind of look at the surface. Avoid incremental thinking. Double down on your goals. If you have a big goal, double it down. What's the worst thing that can happen? You achieve it, or you achieve a little bit less of it, but go for it. Big thoughts go nowhere without bold action. So if you're trying to achieve something today or by the end of the month, this is the time to really, put the focus on what you want to do. And failure is as much a part of your journey to extraordinary results as success is. And that's a big deal. Getting comfortable with failure, getting comfortable with, that aspect of it will only push you forward to success. So here's the plan, you guys. I wanted to know if you guys would play with me a little. This is the last week of the month. We all have individual goals that we want to achieve. We all have goals that we know we want to help our team achieve. So here's my little game, and I want to do this for tomorrow. So I want to empower your willpower, and I want us to each find our superpower. So I want you, if you have time, and I know we're all super busy, but if you want to play along, I want you to write down what you feel your superpower is. It could be communication. It could be follow-up. It could be, you're good with people. Whatever your superpower is, I want you to identify it. And I want you to really look at your superpower and how that relates to your story. What is your story? Define your story. And then what is your kryptonite? What is your tragic flaw? So you're a superpower, but all superpowers have their kryptonite. So find out what your kryptonite is, so you're aware of it, you know what it is, and identify it. And then what is your alter ego of your superpower? So you may be this superpower of this very, strong, focused individual, but on a daily basis, people don't always see that superpower. Who do they see? What is your alter ego personality? And what is the name of your superpower? And if you don't have a name for yourself as a superhero, give yourself a superhero name. So, obviously we know that Superman is super strong, and he's got a lot of different powers as Superman, but his main power is he can fly and things like that. So the reason why I want you to identify this is it's going to be a really good exercise for all of us. And I want us to talk tomorrow about, what our superhero name is and what our superpower is, if you guys want to play along. I don't know if you do, but if you do, it'll be fun to kind of look at what we all feel about ourselves and what our power is, and how we can really, really focus in on that superpower, how we can use that superpower to advantage, our life and build our willpower to stay strong and to be able to do the things that we want to do to be successful. And the last thing that I want to talk about before I open it up to you guys is I was really excited last night to see Nerium U and to see our new products and for our European launch. And I was really excited about the fact that this is the new generation. And what I think is really exciting about this is that, Nerium does a really great job of, I think their superpower is that they do a great job of being current and being, relevant, and being, a company that doesn't kind of sit on its laurels. the Nerium AD product for me, my girlfriend was asking me if you could pick one product out of all the products that Nerium has, what would be your favorite product? And, you know, I want to say a lot of them are all my favorite products, but I guess I would have to go with the Nerium AD because it was the first product I tried and it did so much. I mean, it really changed my skin, and I've been so consistent with it, and I love the way my skin feels, and I love the way it's changed. So it was easy for me to answer that. But when I was watching Nerium U last night, I was thinking, wow, this is a new generation. This is something that is enhancing that, and that eventually will probably be our global product. So it is going to be our global product. So I was really excited about that. And I'm really excited that we're going into, we're going into the Europe market with this product. I mean, it's pretty exciting, you guys. And anyway, I just wanted to share that with you and tell you how excited I was. I'm going to open it up now. If anyone has any questions or has anything that they'd like to share, I would love to hear from you. And if you want to play the game with me. Anybody?
It's Connie. I would love to play the game.
Oh, good. I thought it would be fun for us.
It sounds really fun that we have to think out of the box and really think about what our superpowers. I love that.
Cool. All right.
That with you tomorrow.
So tomorrow just bring your superpower, your super name, and we'll talk about it, and we'll go over and share some superpowers, because that'll also be a good way for us to help each other when we know each other's superpowers.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? Anybody else want to play?
Yeah, I do. You just really brought it home to me. Thank you. It's Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Come on. Let me know.
Annie, can you have this written down or posted, these questions, and so that we can contemplate and answer it as best as we can?
I'll do a screenshot and put it on the page, Breeze. Would that be good?
Yes, thank you.
Lovely.
Good. Great.
Hey, Annie.
Yeah.
I love it too. And, and it's like just thinking about it here being the end of the month, the last 5 days of the month here, I think, sometimes people may look at this and, oh yeah, let's joke around and have fun with it. But if you really take this serious today and think about what is it that in, the 11th hour keeps you going or stops you, right? Here, at the end of the day, it's the end of the month, right? Where are you stopping, or where are you pushing through into October to hit your goals, right? So I think for me, part of what's my superpower that's going to have me run through the tape through the end of the month. So I'm excited.
Right. And you're right. You're absolutely right, Susan. And that's the key. So you find your superpower and you find your kryptonite, because that's exactly what happens. People stop themselves. And so that if we can identify it and we can push through it, I think it's going to be really fun. And especially at the end of the month. So good. That's great. That's awesome. Good. Well, I really appreciate you guys tuning in today. And if anybody else has anything to add, please do. If not, we'll start our day. We'll go find our superpower and get busy. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Annie.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day in Marshana Tova.
Oh, thanks.